auction benefit Cars for Heroes. Isers Arena for Comets Military Appreciation Night, where we honor those who have served and are currently serving our country. The Comets are coming off a big road win in St. Louis last weekend and are looking to build on that momentum as we head into 2019. So let's show our visitors from the Sunshine State and everyone watching at home on MASL.TV just how loud this place can get. Come on, Comets fans, make some noise! Now let's meet tonight's opponent, the Florida Tropics. Number 1, goalkeeper. All right, Comets fans, please welcome to the field Comet, the new Comets mascot. Come on out, Comet. There he is. ...2019 Kansas City Comets. From Kingston, Jamaica, number 5, forward, Ramon Palmer. From Kearney, Missouri, number 6, forward, Adam James. From Buenos Aires, Argentina, number 10, midfielder, Lucas Rodriguez. From Monrovia, Liberia, number 14, forward, league leader in points, league leader in assists, Leo Gibson. From Kingston, Jamaica, number 22, forward, Anthony Grant. From Kingston, Jamaica, number 51, defender Robert Palmer. From Olathe, Kansas, number 99, goalkeeper Mark Saxby. And now for tonight's starters, from Monrovia, Liberia, number 3, defender, James Tagba. From San Jose, Costa Rica, number 9, midfielder and your team captain, Brian Perez. From Trinidad and Tobago, number 11, forward, Kyle Williams. From Medellin, Colombia, number 19, defender John Sousa. From Belgrade, Serbia, number 20, forward Stefan Stokic. And from Woodridge, Illinois, number 13, goalkeeper Brett Patrachek. Head coach of the Comets is the Tim Runfed. The assistant coach is Comets forward Leo Gibson. Comets goalkeeper coach is former Comets star goalie Alan Mayer. Let's hear it for your 2019 Kansas City Comets. And direct your attention to the giant American flag held by all sorts of folks, including our own Kansas City Comets and the Florida Tropics on a very special Military Appreciation Night. Now please join us in paying respect to our colors.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome into MASL TV. This afternoon, the Kansas City Comets welcome in the Florida Tropics, their new South Central Division partners. Alongside Jeff Houston, I'm Nick Vassos. Jeff, Comets are 2-4. They're coming off a win on the road in St. Louis. And the Tropics are 3-4. They're coming off a loss just yesterday in St. Louis. Let's, I think we're getting target practice right here. First, let's talk about Florida. Their leading scorer, Guilherme dos Santos. He's a Brazilian. What do we know about him?
Well, so he's a defender, and he's been pushed into forward action because of some injuries on Florida. And really, it's been his time to shine, and he's really taken hold of it. He's scoring goals. He's providing assists. He's really providing an unanticipated offensive spark for Florida.
We'll see a recognizable face on Florida's side. He's switching coasts. We're talking about the Haitian sensation, right?
Oh yeah, Max Toulouse. It's good to see him in town again. You know, we wanted to. He was one of the players we wanted to target and bring back. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to make it work. But I'm glad to see he's found a spot, and they love him down in Florida. He's doing everything that he did down here. He provides that spark. He's fast. He's quick. He's good on the ball. And Coach Clay Roberts really enjoys what he does for the team.
Now, for the Kansas City Comets, they're enjoying the home blue turf once again. They got to make some hay here in this schedule, and the person that's been driving him is a familiar face once again. Leo Gibson's just been remarkable, hasn't he?
I mean, we're almost running out of ways to describe him. He's been so good for so long. He was runner-up for Player of the Week this week. I mean, 3 goals, 3 assists in St. Louis. He really drove the win, got them on pace, and then really pushed them ahead where they could just kind of relax and let that game go into a smooth cruise control.
And Leo leading the MASL in scoring as well. One other player we wanted to highlight today in kind of a fun way is number 22, Anthony Grant. He's a very fast player, but he also is spending a little of his time in a creative way. Tell us about that.
Well, he came to me this summer and he said, "Hey, Jeff, did you know that I do music?" And I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, you do music. But he's actually a very distinguished record producer, and he's produced tracks for lots of people. Well, he just dropped his first album. Listen to me, I said drop album. I sound cool, right? He dropped his first album, first single, where he is actually the one on the track, and it just dropped Friday. And we'll probably play it a couple times in the arena today, but it's a really good piece. I like it. I told him that, and he felt better when I told him my daughter liked it rather than me. But that's more, I guess, the target audience. But yeah, he's having fun with it, and he's having fun on the field. I mean, he was one of the stars of the game last week. He's scoring goals. He's 2 or 3 on the team. So yeah, he's just having a great time with everything.
Where can fans listen to it? Where can they go?
Well, on our website, there's a story about Anthony Grant and about his song, and there's a video for it. And then I believe he said that it'll be on iTunes, Spotify, and everything beginning on Monday.
Okay. All right. Look for that, folks. It's the Kansas City Comets hosting the Florida Tropics. We'll have the kickoff coming up next on MASL TV. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to MASL TV. It's this afternoon. The Kansas City Comets with a record of 2-4, hosting the Florida Tropics with a record of 3-4 in the South Central Division. Glad to be joined by Jim Schwab once again, two-time indoor champion here with the Attack, and also, of course, with some days with the Comets. And again, Jimmy, this Comets team, they need to get a home win here. They're winless at home. This is their third home game, but they got to get some home cooking going.
Yeah, I think they have to put 4 quarters together, Nick. And first of all, Happy New Year's to you and everybody in the Comets family and fans and everybody around the league. But I think they need to have the consistency. I think they've played in peaks and valleys a little bit, and I think they got to stay up on that peak and ride it a little bit, especially at home.
And for Florida, they were in St. Louis last night, and they lost by 1 goal to the Ambush to fall to 3-4. This Florida Tropics team, they've got some players on here. They got some pretty good talent. Yeah,
I watched a little bit of the game, and they look good. They spread the ball around and knock it around.
So Florida comes in wearing their orange. There's J.P. Reyes, and he sends it over to the big fella, Hugo Silva, who was brought over from Harrisburg last year. And Silva's been pretty good for the Tropics. Hugo is 3-3, and his goals against average 5.7, and his save percentage is 70. So he's been effective netminder for the Florida Tropics this year. We are just underway, and Kansas City and Florida meeting for the first time. There are some KC connections between these two teams. I spent the phone talking with Chris Economides, who you know very well. He was a former owner with the Attack, now a chief operating officer and a part owner in the Florida Tropics. He wanted me to wish you Happy New Year and say hi to you. He remembers fondly back in the 92-93 season. You guys took care of business against Cleveland. You're smiling. Are you thinking of stories you can't tell right now on the air?
Yeah, we'll discuss those off the air. But Chris,
he wouldn't offer any stories to me either.
I'll tell you one during the break here.
We'll see if you can get you to maybe mention that. But yeah.
Well, I think Chris, being the owner, needs to have us down and let us check out his facility.
Excellent idea. Here comes the Comets. Kyle Williams with a drive. That one above the crossbar comes off to Brian Perez. Just underway here in the first quarter. Kansas City and Florida meeting for the first time this year.
One thing, Nick, talking to Coach Runfed today is, it's important. The Tropics are going to probably sit back and try to slow the pace down, try to get into the game a little bit and not push the pace. And the Comets need to come out and force the pace.
Here's Robert Palmer into the middle. And there to try to redirect it was Sandovari for the Comets. Unable to get a boot on it, but Kansas City maintains possession. Now Rodriguez chips it for Nacho. And over the back, Silva punches it out.
I really like the jerseys, the uniforms.
Yeah, it's Military Appreciation afternoon here at the Comets. And those terrific jerseys, those red, white, and blue jerseys are going to be auctioned off by the end of the game. And the beneficiary will be Cars for Heroes. Terry Franz in our area provides cars to veterans in our area who need them. Comets with a chance there. Berto cannot put it on frame, and Hugo Silva comes up with it for the Tropics.
Notice here they're trying to spread the Comets out a little bit. Comets are trying to push the attack.
Here's Nacho. Comets got a chance here. Wall pass. Shot! And the attempted Walla Scora goes up and over the glass. That's Ramon Palmer there.
You have a feeling they're trying to put the saddle on him and ride him right now?
I think so.
I'm telling you. The claws are out. They're coming after him.
Well, already in this game here, in the first 2.5 minutes, they've had 3 chances, really decent chances against Silva and the Tropics. And that's a good sign because the first 2 home games of the year, the Comets fell behind, and it was hard for them to play catch-up the rest of the way. So it kind of underlines what you're talking about, Coach, and that is the Comets need to get off to a good start.
Yeah, I just think a consistent start, like that chance we had, it should have been finished.
Just under 12 to play in the first. Here's Florida down at the other end of the field. Monteleras near the ball, but they get it out to Anthony Grant. Here comes Anthony Grant down the shot. He shoots, and he hits the post. Corralled by J.P. Reyes. And Reyes played it out to Monteleras, and he ran right into Stokic. And a foul called on Kansas City.
That's a little professional foul.
Oh, it's actually went against Florida.
Oh, wow. We both looked at each other. Hey, it's still getting Christmas presents here in January.
Leo with a drive. Gibson leading the league in points. He's got 9 goals and 11 assists. James Togba with the ball. Stepping in is Mugin. Freddie Mugin. Correction, that is Guillermo Dos Santos.
Dos Santos had to make a great tackle there along the boards.
As we heard in pregame, Dos Santos is a defender. He's been moved up because of injuries to play a forward role. Now a drive off the glass. That one goes high.
Nick, too, the last couple home games, Comets created a lot of chances. They haven't finished them. It could have been 2-3-0. All of a sudden, and then the other team gets both teams have countered on the Comets. They got to. Oh, and here we go again.
Trying to head it on over to Macon Franca. Shot saved by Petrocek. Ball still loose. Florida's got it. Mugin chips it in there towards Petrocek, and the Comets keeper has it. Flurry of activity there in front of the Comets netminder, and now here comes some pressure from Florida. They've obviously looked at the tape, and that's what the Comets teams have done against them, is they've high-pressured the Comets. There's Leo out in front. Could not corral it. Jose Luis Birche was out there as well. 10 minutes to play in the first, and a foul called on Florida. Quick restart by the Comets. Palmer plays it back to Sandovari. Sandovari's got it. Mirko is getting action in his 5th game so far this year. Nacho plays it over to John Sosa. Sosa plays it along the boards to Leo. Now one-touch pass, shot, goal!
Wow, that's magical.
Boy, Sosa should get a second assist there. Sosa to Gibson to Nacho, and the Comets strike first 1-0.
Nick, what a ball this is. We're going to see the replay here shortly, but great indoor soccer. What a fantastic goal.
All right, take us through this one, Jimmy.
Well, key entry pass from Sosa to Leo. Leo did a one-touch pass to Nacho, and he hit it well. Nick, he's really watched this. Again, he hits it first time and buries it in the corner.
Wow. Nacho back into the scoring column again. That's his 6th on the year. And for Leo, that's his 12th assist. A dozen for the great Leo Gibson.
That's something that's always been impressing me over the years with Leo. He gets a lot of goals, but he's on top of the assist category as well.
Stokic with the steal, then taken down from behind. And a foul called on Florida. Boy, I could not believe that wasn't a blue card there. That's what Stokic is saying to one of the referees.
Yeah, looking at it, Nick, it looked like deliberate from behind.
So it's Montelares. Here's another look at it. And that did look like he got taken down. Comets with the restart. They send it over the glass. So Hugo Silva with the goalkeeper distribution. And 9:22 left to play in the first.
That restart wasn't their finest. The ball was a little choppy coming off the foot, and he kind of sailed it up in the crowd.
Silva winds up, throws it long. Comets take back possession of the ball. Over to Petrocek. Florida there sitting back towards the half line. Comets get it over to Togba. Togba marked by Joanne Laidley. You also have Rafa Alves on the floor right now on the Sport Shake Field, the blue turf here in KC. 1-0 Kansas City over Florida. Chipped for Leo Gibson. Directed over to Anthony Grant.
Good things happen when they can get into the target player with Leo there. Sosa found him early in a one-touch pass with Leo. And
taken away by Laidley. Down the far touchline, still going forward. And the Comet player dives in. Laidley still going forward. Runs into Petrocek. Now a shot from out wide. That one taken by Dos Santos goes wide. Comets trying to win the ball back, and they kick it back towards Florida's side of the field. Guillermo Dos Santos one of the many Brazilians on this team. He has 9 goals for Florida. Now Palmer into Leo. Now into the area. Oh, and Silva's pass nearly picked off by Kyle Williams. Comets take back possession. Tugba knocked down from behind, no call.
Good no call there. I think he was embellished a little bit, tried to get a dive to get a restart.
Ricardo Deegs is now out there. Here's Brian Perez. And then over to Sosa. Sosa over to Sandovari. Sandovari with a long drive. That one wide left. Battle for it here. It's going to go off the hand of Kyle Williams, and it'll be back over to Florida's ball.
Little straight leg there. You can see the sole of your foot. That almost pumps that. When the sole of the foot goes up, the whistle goes.
Silva right down Main Street. No Florida player there. Headed back towards Stokic. Stokic on for Gibson. Stefan back to Perez, who shoots, and Silva makes the save. He deflects it out wide to the right wing corner, and Kyle Williams is there along with a couple of orange jerseys there. Now Perez steals the pass, gets it to Sandovari, and the Comets will reset their offense. Here comes Leo back on. Stokic goes off.
One thing, too, Nick, is with Florida coming in late last night or early today after the game is, Comets got to make sure they can jump on them early here and not make sure they don't get their legs. Make sure they have to chase the game a little bit.
Yep. Ricardo Deegs down the left side. He shoots. Petracek got a piece of that one. Now Leo looking for a pass, trying to corral it, and it went off his arm, so handball called on Leo.
One thing, too, Nick, is talking to Coach Runfed is talking to the Rocket is the focus is the distribution coming out of the back has to be cleaned up. I think the last couple home games we've seen it. They've given, they've had a lot of giveaways.
Timeout on the field. 6:36 left to play in the first. Kansas City 1, Florida nothing on MASL TV. .636 left to play in the first. Jim Schwab, Nick Vassos, Jeff Houston, and our entire Silverstein Ice Center's arena crew here, giving you action of the Kansas City Comets and the Florida Tropics. Well, I mentioned earlier that I ran into or talked to Chris Economides earlier this week. I also learned from the professor from Hot Winter Nights that it was 32 years ago, almost to the day, that Jim Schwab opened his MISL scoring account with a goal from the left side. And I saw Gino Schiraldi jump higher than I have ever seen him jump before, right into your arms after you scored that goal.
He had some ups. Yeah, he had some ups. You know what? Somebody sent that on a YouTube to me.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, my kids are like, Dad, you were kind of fast. I'm like, what do you mean kind of? Now the semi-truck has to be backed up, you know?
Well, you're on the keto, so you're going in the right direction.
Yeah, couldn't go up.
Oh, and I haven't passed up a meal since Thanksgiving, so I'm not too far behind you. 6:13 left to play in the first. Restart by Kansas City, winds around the glass, and Silva pounces on it for the Tropics. Silva up and throwing, looking for Mujin, popped up into the air. Mujin hits it, but not on target. Kansas City heads it back towards the Comets iconic logo there in the center circle. Now up to Lucas Rodriguez, who tries to chip Silva.
He tried to chili dip him. A little chili chicken queso.
And Silva was right there to catch it. Here come the Comets again. Stokic near the midfield stripe. Back to Petracek. We've got changes, wholesale changes for the Comets. And quickly up ahead to Ramon Palmer, who tried to redirect the rebound and hit it wide. Dos Santos can't track the ball down. Comets take possession back. Comets winning a lot of the 50-50 balls. Now Palmer with a long drive. That one broken up. And deflects over to Ramon Palmer. Here's Berto. Robert Palmer. Now Tagba. Comets looking to get it down to Leo in the corner, and they do. Gibson is there. Now front and center to Ramon Palmer. Over to Tagba. Tagba with a long left footer. And that went up and out of play there.
The Supernova's had a duck on that one. A haircut.
Comets dance team there. You're right. They're in a tough spot right there. They better,
Especially when I was shooting.
yeah.
You know, I always tell them, just stand behind the goal. You'll never get hit.
Under 5 to play in the first. Quickly up the field, headed back. Here's Alves with a drive. And Rafa is stoned there by Petracek. Comets lead 1-0 on a goal by Nacho, his 6th on the year. Assist goes to Leo Gibson. Tagba. Now front and center, over the right side, Leo. Leo marked there by Rafa Alves. His pass deflected away by number 12, Macon Franca. There's Franca. Tried to use the boards, gets it on up to Perez, who shoots, and Perez just wide. Wow, the Comets are getting open looks here, but they've only been able to put one inside the frame.
And Florida has to feel fortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had, like you said, 4, 5, 6 great scoring opportunities, and it's you know, the keepers come up big, but we've just missed the target a little bit.
Attempted heel pass there by Freddie Mugen. Anthony Grant comes out with it, and now they play it back to Silva.
I keep seeing those orange jerseys. You know, they remind me of the Wichita Wings.
Orange Army. Eric Rasmussen, the Wizard. Wall pass. Now Mugen tees another one up, and that one up and over the glass.
What a save in the stands. See that guy? He snared it out of there.
Sign that guy.
Looked like Odell Beckham.
There's Freddie Mugen, one of the veteran players in this game. Spent some time in Baltimore.
It was good to hear from Chris Brown today. Downtown, the general manager of the T-Bones.
Yep.
Speaking of winning championships.
Exactly. He was with the Comets when they won a championship in 96-97.
His daughter's going to be dancing at halftime.
We'll have to stay tuned for that. Always good to see Chris Brown maintained his support over all the years for the Comets /attack. Gibson down in the corner. Now Silva throwing it long, looking for Laidley, and deflected back to Petracek. Brett sends it across the half line. Montelaris is there. Montelaris of Florida. Now Silva. Hugo is 3-3 on the year. Again, his goals against average 5.7. That's good. And his save percentage is 70, which also is good.
Notice here, Nick, they're trying to spread them out here and dump the ball here. That's a great distribution by the keeper.
Ricardo Deegs. Broken up by the Comets, held in by the Trops. J.P. Reyes. Now Montelaris. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the first. 1-0 KC.
I think Florida's coming in with a game plan. I think Chris Economidis he's got to be proud of this team. I mean, they're a solid bunch, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. I can see Max Toulouse into the game also, the Haitian sensation. Hugo Silva looks to pass it to Max. There he is. Here's Max Toulouse with a drive, and that one blocked by the Comets. He gets it back. Now to the corner. To Dos Santos, who shoots it left-footed, and Petrocek makes the save. A couple of good looks there by the Florida side. Comets will press it up slowly here from their last third up to the half line. Robert Palmer's there. He has it. 1 minute and 22 seconds on the first quarter clock. KC looking for their first home win of the year. This is their third home game. Their record is 2-4.
I'd like to see the defender. Oh, what an overlapping run there.
Here's Togba. Togba in the corner. Leaves it back for Nacho, but a little bit too weak on the pass, and it's picked up there and then kicked out of bounds by Dos Santos. That's a mistake by Florida here with just under a minute to play, kicking it out of bounds. And the Comets are going to have a great chance here.
Dangerous restart here coming up. Sometimes that happens when the little legs are tired from the night before.
Down to the corner. Shot, no good. Rebound, score! Leo Gibson.
What a goal this is again. I think Lucas down in the back corner missed it, and Leo buried it.
Here it is, Jimmy.
Watch this, Nick. Great restart. Has a sitter, and then Leo just said, no, none of that. He's got to put it upstairs. That's where your Uncle Frank puts the scotch, isn't it? Upstairs, up in the upper shelf.
Top shelf.
I mean, and he's not happy.
No, Hugo needs a hug. Comets lead 2-0, and it goes back to that mistake that when they kicked it out of bounds.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of a rookie mistake by a veteran. Maybe his legs are a little tired from the night before. No excuse. Just, you just can't give teams that easy of a restart. But it was well done, dialed up by coach, and Lucas missed the sitter, and it, the ball's bouncing the right way so far. So Nick, but you know what? Excuse my interruption. 39 seconds left. The Comets have totally dominated this half, right? I mean, this quarter, and they got 2 goals out of it. But Florida's got to be pretty fortunate.
Yeah, it could be 6-0.
It could.
Yeah.
That's the second time I agreed with you this year. Man, we might be back in love.
10 seconds left. I don't know what to say about that. Here's a drive from Florida's J.P. Reyes.
I would have told you that years ago if you would have shut up.
Silva plays it long as the horn sounds. And let's take a break.
Hey, that's the first time you've been lost for words before midnight in my life.
I love it. That's my dynamite partner, Jim Schwab, right there. We'll take a break and come back with second quarter action. Kansas City 2 and the Drops nothing on MASL TV.
Pop pipe, follow her to shoot, baby, just sing about the groove.
Seven a big hand for our Supernovas.
Thank God for the dump button. Thank you. You're on fire.
Back live on MASL TV, Jim Schwab, Nick Vassos, Jeff Houston, and Seth Parker, our statistician. 2-0 Kansas City over Florida. And would you believe this, Jimmy, that the Comets have scored multiple goals in the first quarter at home for the first time this year?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The first couple games were a little slow pace, wasn't it?
Yeah. You might call it a snoozer. Both teams switch ends. Comets get it out in front of Silva again. But the big fella from Brazil pounces on it. And Florida comes out with it. Kansas City out shooting, or actually both teams tied at 5 shots on goal after the first quarter. Joanne Laidley. Out wide it goes to Dos Santos. Guilherme Dos Santos. All the way back to Silva. Here's Dos Santos with a long drive. That one comes off to Togba. Togba plays it towards the half line, but it's held in by Monteleras. Now Dos Santos back to JP Reyes. Kansas City 2-4. Florida dropping a game in St. Louis last night, 5-4. Kansas City has been off this weekend. Kansas City will be back in action Friday when they'll travel to Milwaukee. Here's a drive by Kansas City, goes wide right.
I think there Leo wanted the ball. Anytime you have the highest point, goal scorer in the league, you got to give him the ball.
He's got a goal and an assist so far. He's been a part of both Comets' goals early on. And Leo must be feeling good, and in that case, you just feed the beast, don't you?
Feed the animal. You know what? Lock the door and keep throwing food in.
Comets come up with it. Here's Nacho into the middle. Ball still loose. Leo's in the area, but kicked away by Florida. Kansas City starts to work back and get back defensively. Leo's there on the ball and takes a tumble on the turf. And a foul is called on Florida.
Leo getting back on defense there.
How about that?
Yeah, I mean, we need to say something on the air. So, only time he crosses the half field is after they score. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that.
No, but I mean, some of the.
If I could score that well too, I would never come back.
When did Zoran Karic ever cross the half line?
Good point.
Here's a header. Oh, it goes in! Adam James, the kid from Kearney, gives the Comets a 3-0 lead.
He paid the price for that too, Nick. I think you got to give credit to the referee on the clear too.
How about that?
I don't know what that was.
Here it is, Jimmy.
Goalkeeper came and.
Oh, wow. Did you see him? He rose up like a fish out of the river and headed that ball in.
I mean, look at this. Great vision.
Oh, boy, Silva.
And he knew he was coming too.
Yes, Silva went up top.
But that's the kind of goal that they've been giving up, and now they're, you know what? That's a good sign.
So
Nacho's got a goal and an assist.
Yeah, he does. Adam James with his 3rd goal on the year. And for Nacho, that is his 4th assist. 11:38 left to play in the first half.
Looks like Florida's had a little talk at the first quarter, Nick, and they're trying to cut Leo off from getting the ball. Looks like they're switching instead of playing a man for man. They're trying to play a zone a little bit here.
Leo out there on the field. He basically was hiding right behind Silva in goal and then jumped out to try to collect that pass. Meanwhile, Anthony Grant, some space. Good nifty move there, but not on target, and then eventually knocked out of bounds off of Gibson, and so they'll go back to Florida.
Grant's playing with a lot more confidence.
I think that, he's got a new single out. He's
does?
he's a singer. He's
Is
been
he really?
released on YouTube, and I think we're going to play it a couple of times here in the arena. I don't know. I haven't heard it yet.
You haven't?
But his.
What kind of genre?
I think it's. Well, you know what? I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's like I want to say rap, rap, and then maybe some R&B in there.
Wow.
We got to talk to Jeff Houston. I know he's heard it.
Oh, he knows it all though.
And so Anthony Grant, along with his soccer skills, he's got some singing skills as well. There's actually a couple of players on this team that can sing. Nacho, have you ever heard him sing? Nacho can sing.
He can?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Anthony Grant, he can sing.
Oh,
it's
we
reggae.
just found out it's a little reggae.
Ah.
Yes,
That makes perfect sense. It's Mr. Anthony Grant's from Kingston, Jamaica.
Yes. And remember the legend, Baba Marley
Yes.
and Ziggy Marley. I hope we hear it today. I think they should play the song after he scores.
If you're interested in checking it out, go to the Comets page, the Comets website, kccomets.com, and there's a story about Anthony Grant, and it's got a link where you can listen to the song.
I'm going to do that at halftime, Nick. 3-0 here. Let's see if they can keep the pressure on.
Perez down to Gibson.
Oh, a little,
Shipped it right
a little
in.
cheeky right there. Try to slide one in the side door. Front door and the back door locked his way. Try to slide it in the side door. Knock, knock, nobody home.
Ball comes out. Here's Matingu. Matingu still going. Matingu shot. Goal! Ryan Perez out front. It's 4-0.
Very unselfish soccer. Pretty soccer by the Comets. I bet 9 out of 10 guys would have shot the ball there, and he just waited for Brian. A great run by Brian Perez. And got him in the scoring book.
My mistake. Kyle Williams on the assist there. Kansas City out to a 4-0 lead.
Assist on that goal for number 11, Kyle Williams. Goal scored at 5 minutes and 43 seconds in the second quarter.
Again, Perez tallies his 5th on the year. Comets now out to a 4-0 lead. They've had leads before, but not here at home like that. So the blue turf on Sport Shake Field is working for the KC Comets as they get another turnover.
If I'm the Comets, and I got to talk to Jeff here at halftime, and Coach Runfed is, I would never get rid of these jerseys. If you're scoring, I'm not taking them off.
Absolutely. And again, it's Military Appreciation Day. Those jerseys are will be bid on after the game by fans, and the proceeds will go to Cars for Heroes, and that's a charity that provides vehicles for needy veterans in our area. Terry Franz is the guy who organizes that, so thank you, Terry, for what you do for our veterans. We also have members of Team Fidelis here. Team Fidelis is a local veterans organization that helps veterans make connections to services in many, many different ways. One of the great local charities in our area helping veterans. And not only are the Comets getting some luck in these jerseys here, but they look good too. Ball out loose, out front. Florida just trying to get it out of their last third. running in circles, and they play it back to Silva. Comets are going to apply some pressure here. DeSantos plays it out towards the half line, and going back is Rodriguez, and Laidley, now a drive off the foot of DeSantos. Goes wide to Lou out front. Now DeSantos again. Togba battling DeSantos. No whistle, both teams play on. Petracek plays it off the wall, into the middle. Here's a long drive, and that one off the foot of Reyes goes up and out of bounds.
Florida's trying to push the game, Nick. They try to push in and trap the Comets in their own zone there, and we're pretty successful doing it.
Yeah, they just don't look as fast as Kansas City right now. It's officials timeout on the field. We will take a break as well. 7:22 left to play in the first half. Kansas City 4 and Florida nothing on MASL TV. There it is, Team Fidelis. Good-looking picture there of on the right there. That's Daniel Brazel. He is the founder of Team Fidelis. To his right, his wife Kelly, Grace, and Gabby. So he brought his whole family here. And there was, of course, Comets keeper Mark Saxby there. Everybody all smiles, checking out the Comets.
Mr. Saxby played at Johnson County Community College for a little bit. Had a little stint there. Did real well. Great hard-working kid, a lot of talent.
How about he's kind of a free spirit, isn't he?
Yes, that's you know what?
I like that. I mean, he seems like he is. He's just like
he's not conservative like you and me.
But I like him. I like his. Last year in a difficult situation, Saxby really gave the Comets something that they were looking for last year. They had nobody in goal, anybody who could stop anything, and Saxby. Just his hard work and his attitude really helped the team get through the last few games last year.
Yeah, he had an opportunity and did well.
Another drive there by Anthony Grant. The artist, maybe we'll call him the artist now.
Notice he's dressed tonight too. Remember that scare last week or last game?
Oh, yeah.
The goalkeeper went down, and looks like Coach Runfed's dressing too tonight.
That's right. Saxby, yep, he's dressed on the bench. Petracek, the Comets' starting keeper, has a record of 2-3 and a 6.5 goals against average, and his save percentage is 69%. Petracek I think just first couple of games getting adjusted, playing with his new teammates and under game conditions. And remember that Petracek last year when he was with Cedar Rapids, he was suspended by the club, and he basically didn't play for much, like over half of the season. And so he's, in terms of game action, he's sort of getting back into it here. And I think this game, I can see his confidence climbing here as he's getting more games under his belt.
I think so. You're absolutely right. I think his confidence. I think the Comets defenders, playing out of the back a little bit, his goals against average is probably a little miscued a little bit just because of, I think it should be a little bit lower, but kind of some gifts, but I think they're cleaning that up.
Yep. Oh, Comets, speaking of gifts, Florida just delivered a wrapped gift to the Comets, but they cannot cash in on it.
When's the last time we ever heard Leo have a bad touch in the box? I mean, that doesn't happen.
Never.
Unlucky there, Leo. He's in the right place. Just a little bit unlucky on the touch.
Toulouse. Demujian, back to Dos Santos, and then all the way back to Silva. 5 minutes and 27 seconds left to play in the first half. Comets a 4-0 lead. Birche plays it back to Silva. Silva's touch over to Max Toulouse. Toulouse right in the referee's crease. On back to Hugo. Boy, Hugo barking. Down into the corner.
Nick, I got a text message from a former fan from the MISL like to give a shout out to Jim Spiegelhalter.
Spiegelhalter.
Yes.
Jim Spiegelhalter.
Thanks for the shout, Jim, and I hope all is well. And Happy New Year to you and your family.
And
down in Florida.
Yeah, thanks for watching MASL TV. Comets leading 4-0. Max Toulouse on up to Montelaris. Montelaris' pass back to Max behind him. Max calling for the ball again. Played into the area. Petracek scoops it up for Kansas City now. Anthony Grant measures one and then just doinks it right off the scoreboard.
Nick, that was above the scoreboard. That hit the Mavericks banner, the blue banner above the Comets sign.
That went to the International Space Station, Jimmy.
Wow.
Long throw by Silva.
I didn't think it was clear weather to launch it.
Rafa Alves behind the ball. Long drive. Deegs tried to redirect it. Now JP Reyes. Ball into the middle. Petracek is there. Rolls past it. Nifty move there by Robert Palmer to knee it back to Petracek so he can pick it up. Now Silva way off his line, surrounded by red, white, and blue jerseys. Gets it to Reyes. And then to the far side of the field, it's Macon Franca. Near side it comes to Ruiz. On back to Reyes. Here's Rafa. Look out, folks. That one right over the glass and out of bounds.
We might have to get the Supernovas some helmets. I'm serious. That's a dangerous job there.
It's like 3 or 4 of them there. They've just been smoked.
Nick, one thing, too, is if you can keep that, and I don't want to jinx us here, okay? 3:13 left in the first half, and we still see a goose egg on the board. We still see a 0, and that's a good sign for the Comets. I think their team defense is a lot better tonight.
No question. Here's Gibson. Gibson's drive. Still loose out front. Silva goes down and then cleared away by the Tropics.
Leo just turned and hit that. He got all of that one.
Kyle Williams walking it in. Ramon with a touch to Robert. Then lifted into the corner for Leo. Defender steps in front of Gibson, but he gets it back. Now a give and go shot. Impossible angle, just goes wide. Rebound comes off to the Comets, and they'll back it up to Petracek.
Good creativity in there. Little give and go.
Like they're pinging it around, the one touch.
Yeah, I like that ping. Pinging it around.
Couple changes for the Comets. Sosa comes back on. Tagba back on, and so is Brian Perez. Kyle Williams now will head to the bench. Coming in for him is Nacho. Gibson remains on the field. Leo comes off when he wants to come off, right? Gibson. Over to Sosa. Here's Perez, leaves it, and a give and go. Back to Brian. Ricardo Diegues is there. Played up to Laidley. And then to the near side, Petracek races off his line. He cleared away, now a drive. Oh, boy, that was close. Rebound, goal! Freddie Mujan gets the Tropics on the board, and it's 1-0.
First time tonight they looked a little bit disorganized, bouncing the ball back there, and a couple fortunate bounces from Tropics, but here comes the first one here. Comes in and he gets caught there and
scrambles back.
Good defense there, and then it comes back out, and he just, he teed it up.
He didn't miss it.
No. I don't think he won a mulligan there, Nick.
Mujan, his 5th on the year.
Five-hole.
Oh, that goes unassisted. A low screamer.
Let's see if the Comets can counter this, Nick, with 1:18 left and leave on a good note in the first half.
1 minute, 11 seconds left to play. Anthony Grant. Back to Lucas Rodriguez. Now right side for Robert Palmer. Palmer down to Gibson. Gibson goes down after being cut down there by Rafa Alves. Gibson's probably given away about a foot of height there to Rafa Alves. Restart Kansas City. Oh, boy, a scissors volley there from Rodriguez. Lucas there.
Yeah, and he attempted it right-footed, too. What a little creative set piece there. Little flying side volley. Just missed it a little bit.
Rafa forward into the box. A shot. A goal. It's Ricardo Deegs. It's now 4-2.
Ricardo had a great touch, first touch in the box, and set it up and teed it up. Watch this. Great pass. Takes a little touch. Oh,
yeah. A little hacky sack there on the side, huh?
Yeah. You're coming up with some good words today. Is Wendy teaching you a little bit more at home about new vocabulary?
Going with the flow.
Wow.
Oh, gosh. Well, that one, a stinging goal if you're a Comets fan, because they have cut the lead in half. And see what happens here. We got 36 seconds left. Comets dump it into the corner, looking for Leo. Turn check, goal! That wasn't Leo, but I think that might have been Ramon Palmer.
What?
Wow, what a goal by Ramon Palmer.
First of all, an unbelievable entry pass off the boards and a great piece of skill by Mr. Palmer. Watch this entry pass. Hey, look, Sosa puts up a great ball. He's making the run here, and now the spin, the touch, first of all, that's not easy. Okay, great first touch, and then the spin and ding it off the
far post.
Yes, that's special to watch. Look at this, Nick.
That is a finish right there.
Folks on TV, don't try that at home. Because he made it look a lot easier than wow, that is nice to watch.
Well, that certainly helps the Comets' cause here with 18 seconds left in the first half. 5-2 is our score right now. Three seconds left. Anthony Grant will hold the ball, and that'll do it. 5-2 is our halftime score. We are standing by. Jeff Husted's going to talk to the head coach before we send it to our halftime show. Comets lead 5-2 as teams head into the halftime, into the locker rooms. Let's send it down to Jeff Husted.
All right, thanks, Nate. I'm here with Coach Front Bend. Coach, start to the half this time. What are your thoughts?
A couple of defensive lapses we need to take care of. Otherwise, I thought we played well. We created a bunch of chances. Now we just got to go out and finish it and make sure we stay defensively solid.
5 goals in the first half is the most we've had in a half so far at home this year. What's the key to getting this offense going?
A lot of patience. I mean, obviously, Florida, they're sitting back right now, and they played last night. So we got to have a lot of patience and prevent fast breaks.
All right, thanks. Back to you, Nate.
Thank you.
Well, there's the coach right there, pretty spot on in terms of what you guys are seeing eye to eye on what's happening, right?
Yeah, I think he's got to be pleased with the first half. I think he's probably a little irritated with the 2 defensive lapses, but you know what? Compared to the first 2 home games, Nick, I thought it was a great improvement
For sure.
And I don't, and he feels that this team's going to get better and better. But the big key is, with 24-game schedule, you can't get too far behind.
Right.
You got to keep it close, and
Especially in this division where there are 5 teams, and you've got Milwaukee, who's undefeated. You can just all give them the division title. So you got 4 teams battling it out for one playoff spot.
right.
So
And St. Louis is
they're improved.
They're improved. Their attendance is up. It seems like they're playing well.
Yep.
Brian Roth and that staff is doing real well in St. Louis, getting the attendance up. I looked at the figures, and I don't know what they had last night, but they've been drawn.
That's why I think these home games are so important for the Comets, because they finished with 6 of their last 7 on the road. So they've got to make some hay. They got to take care of business here at home, because it's not going to be easy there to close out the season. And so we'll.
Well, I think they created more chances.
Yep.
They're still missing a few, but I'll be honest with you. You got to be pleased with the quality of chances, the number of chances, okay? And we saw some great goals this first half.
They're playing better. I mean, just overall, they're playing better as a team, no doubt.
I think they're playing with a little bit more team defense, team discipline, and it shows. That lapse, they got a little ahead of themselves, and I think the key was, and I jinxed them, I should have never said anything, is to keep the discipline for 4 quarters, okay? And I think they had a little lapse, but they rebounded, came back with a good goal.
So good first half there for the Comets. 5-2, they lead it over the Florida Tropics. We'll step aside for our halftime show and be back for you in the third quarter. For Jim Schwab, Nick Vassos, you're watching MASL TV.
A lot of cheering going on. All right, Comets, slow down. Comet, we have one. We've got a winner. Hopefully it was yours. Number, Harvester Ball 402. 402. Congratulations. If that's your Harvester Ball, you can redeem that prize in the concourse. Harvester's Fling for Food. Your opportunity to win $100 happens every game at halftime, but you got to pick up one of those Harvester Balls to play to win. Nate, a lot of shaking going on out here.
Yes, there is. That's Comets Ball, Fling for Food Ball, number 402.
402, correct. 402.
Good job, Comet. Look at you riding a bike and dancing. Last time I did that, I ran to the back of a pickup truck.
When Domino's is out for delivery, use Domino's new dinner bell to get the family home.
good. Thanks for watching MASL TV. Halftime continues here at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena. Once again, joined by Jeff Houston. And Jeff, let's talk about one of the big matches that happened earlier today. UCFC was taking on the Milwaukee Wave. This was in New York here. And how did that game end up? And it was one of the most anticipated games of the year.
Yeah, it was a great game from the get-go. Milwaukee comes in undefeated. Utica undefeated at home and had that big win against Baltimore last week. And it was a battle. I watched most of it while we were preparing. It was back and forth. Now, Milwaukee jumped up to a pretty big lead, but it was never quite a runaway. You always felt Utica City was in it. Things got a little heated there in a little bit. I think it was in the third quarter. We even had an ejection. It was a classic battle, the kind that we see here with Milwaukee quite a bit. In the end, Milwaukee ended up on top, so they remain undefeated, and Utica City has their first loss at home.
Wow. Big game there for sure. Also, one of the big things happening here this afternoon is military appreciation. The Comets continue with their effort in the Kansas City community, and this year with going to give a car away here to a worthy veteran. So it just once again continues your service to the community.
Yeah, this is our 9th year doing the military appreciation, and it's evolved over the years. Over the past couple of years, we've worked with Team Fidelis, Daniel Brazel there, and then we've worked with Cars for Heroes for, I want to say, about the past 3 or 4 years. And it's a great organization. They get cars, they get veterans who are in need to have transportation, and they match them up together. And hopefully he's not watching right now, but we have a veteran we're going to recognize here in just a few minutes. He doesn't know it, but he's going to receive a car as just to say thank you for his service.
Those jerseys that the guys are wearing tonight, those red, white, and blue jerseys, man, those things are sharp.
They look good. And last year, the jerseys that we wore for this game, everybody kept saying, those are the best jerseys we've ever seen. There's no way we're ever going to top them. And then we got the design for this year's, and it was like, okay, we took it up a level. So, yeah, they're great. And bidding is going excellent on those right now. So, yeah, we're auctioning them off right now during the game. And all the benefits of that will go to the Cars for Heroes program.
Yep, deserving charity. If you were with us a couple of weeks ago, you heard the MASL made an announcement in terms of a new television partner, 11 Sports. You're going to be seeing more MASL games on 11 Sports, but there's also been another announcement. There's going to be more chances for you to see MASL soccer, right?
Yeah, well, there hasn't been an announcement yet, but there's a lot of talk. And the 11 Sports deal was kind of the first step there. And we've got a lot of excitement, a lot of people saying, okay, well, your games are going to be on there. What about some of these other games? So I know locally we're seeing a lot of interest from the community and a lot of interest from local media, but not even that. We're seeing a lot of interest in the MASL, the game as a whole. Other broadcast partners coming to us and saying, hey, we want a little bit of a piece of this. Some other markets, for example, Orlando, they've had some games on some RSN regional sports networks down there. There's a lot more interest in the game. Credit to Commissioner Josh Schaub. He's out there. He's selling the game. He's talking to people and getting people excited about what we've been excited about for decades. So there's a lot of news to come. Nothing out yet, but we're happy to tease a little bit of fun.
All right, well, we'll look forward to that. Jeff, enjoy the second half. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Nick.
All right. Comets lead 5-2 over the Florida Tropics. Second half is coming up next on MASL TV.
So all the proceeds benefiting Cars for Heroes. That will go until the end of the third quarter. So make sure you guys make a bid on that if you guys want to walk away with one of those jerseys. I'm now here with Terry. He's got some special surprises. Terry, you would go ahead and take the microphone and let's do this.
We got any veterans out there? Looks like we got a bunch of them. First and foremost, thank you for your service. We don't say it enough to you, and we really do appreciate what you've done for our country. I get the rare honor to honor some of our veterans. In fact, I do it once a week on 101 The Fox. Every Monday, I give a vehicle to a veteran that can't obtain one any other way. A lot of them come back and have served, but it isn't so easy to get back into everyday life. And I would like to introduce you to a Navy veteran, Gregory, right over here. Gregory served 6 years, wasn't it, in the Navy? 4 years on a battleship. So don't float your boat around his boat. This is his parents standing next to him, and nothing is more honorable than to honor a veteran in front of his parents, because that's where it all started. So thank you, guys. Gregory's still doing a little struggling, getting his life moving again after serving, and unfortunately, about 6 months ago, somebody stole his car in his parking lot. So he has no mode of transportation. And if you know what it's like to live without a car, it's very difficult to function, go to a doctor, get to a job, or get your life moving again. So to make it short and sweet, if you look out the front of the building when you leave tonight, you're going to see a vehicle standing out there, because Gregory, we're giving you a car. Thank you, Dad. You bet. I know you know how he's been struggling, and that struggle just went away. So the next time you got an old car sitting on the side of your house that you don't know what to do with, go to cars4heroes.org, donate it, we'll fix it up, and we'll make sure a guy like him gets back on track. Thank you, everybody. And I'd like to finish with one simple thing. USA, 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 USA. Thank you and enjoy the game.
One more time for Gregory, and the big thanks again to his service. Also at this time, Gregory, we'd like to turn your attention to the video board. We've got a special message from our Kansas City Comets.
Thank you for your service, Gregory. We hope you enjoy your car. Yes.
Comets fans, don't forget that you can buy one of these great-looking Military Appreciation Night jerseys the Comets have been wearing on the field, and that will go directly to support Cars for Heroes, which you just witnessed the sort of work that they do to support our veterans, our military, and their families that are in need of reliable transportation. So make your bid on our special app. That's the Live Source app. The entire auction you can do right from your seat here in the arena. Those bids will close at the end of the third quarter. Make sure to get your bids in on your favorite Comets player.
second half action. Set here for Silverstein Ice Center Arena. Comets lead the Tropics 5-2. Alongside Jim Schwab, I am Nick Vassos. We were just talking about the second half here and what our thoughts were for the second half. If the Comets keep playing like they are, they should be in good shape. What do you think they need to do to maintain their lead, and what does Florida need to do to try to get back in this game?
Well, let's go to Florida first, okay? Florida needs to push the pace a little bit more. I think they tried to slow the game down, get their legs from last night, coming in from playing back-to-back games on the road. So they're going to try to push the pace. Coach Runfed said it, be patient with the Comets have to be patient. They have to be disciplined, but they're going to go after him here. I think there's some chum in the water right now. No offense down in Florida, But, they need to come out and really go after him here. But they have to have the discipline too. No.
Three-line violation there right off the bat by Hugo Silva. So they'll bring it back on the Tropics yellow line. The Comets will get a restart there with action just underway here in the third.
If I'm John Sosa, I just
blast it?
I just go for the roof.
Here's Sosa. He's thinking the exact same thing.
Well,
you guys think alike.
I've never met a shot I didn't like besides at the doctor's office.
Comets a 3-goal lead on offense, wearing their red, white, and blue. Those jerseys are up for auction. Folks here at the arena are making bids on them. And as you saw there at halftime, really cool. A veteran just was given a car by Cars for Heroes and Terry France.
That was emotional, Nick. I mean,
yeah.
First of all, thanks for all the veterans out there around our country and around our world protecting us and giving us the opportunities that what we're doing here. But it's very cool that what Terry does about giving cars away and putting veterans back on their feet.
Now that veteran there has had his car stolen a couple of weeks ago. And so some of the money that's raised here tonight will go towards Terry fixing up cars so that he can give them to veterans. Apparently he gives a lot of cars away. And you've known Terry France for many years, haven't you, Jim?
For a long time, yeah. He was working with Sammy Said, that's no longer with us, but way back in the day when I was playing with the Comets, I took a summer and sold some tires.
Sold some cars. How'd you do? Cleaned up.
What do you think?
Closer. Rodriguez to the corner for Gibson. Leo back to Lucas.
Remind me to tell you about the Chris Economidis story about.
Did you sell him a car?
No. He drove to Milwaukee with us.
Oh, my.
And Tozier was the coach.
Oh. That was in the early 90s. That might have been the 91 season.
It was early. It was early.
Yeah.
Put it this way. We had 4 vans. And walkie-talkies. It was I could, I can't say some of this stuff, but hilarious what went on.
I think that first year in 91, Zoran would have been playing at the time. Was he a player coach? No, yeah. He was playing still.
He was an assistant coach player.
Okay. And Tozer was coaching.
Yes.
And were you the captain?
No.
No?
Yeah, you know what? Zoran was the captain.
Okay.
Zoran had like 6 titles: assistant coach, captain.
Well, you won as a player and as a coach. Zoran won as a player, as a coach, and as a general manager.
Yes.
Because he was GM when you won the title in 96-97.
I enjoyed working with Zoran. He's very dedicated, knows the game inside and out. And we had some good times.
No doubt about it.
Z would always put me back in the plane, right? And nobody would talk to him, right? So he goes, "Get back here."
Great save by Petracek off the restart from Florida.
So I was his messenger to the players back in the day.
Oh. Believe me, I've spent many a times after games with him, me and Franny.
My liver paid the price.
Oh.
Well, What's going to happen here? Dangerous restart, top of the arc.
So, Toulouse, he will peel off. Birche is going to trigger the restart. Nope, not him. Monteleras comes over with a big right foot, blasts it off the glass. Birche plays it to Hugo Silva.
Why pass when you can shoot?
Why?
What the heck?
11 and a half to play in the third. And the Comets, a 5-2 lead. Comets out shooting Florida, 13-8. In the corner, a wall pass. Deflected away by Anthony Grant of the Comets, held in by Monteleras. No, that's Rafa, excuse me. Now Toulouse, the Haitian sensation, out front, going against his old mates. Plays it back to J.P. Reyes. Here's Toulouse. A drive in, off the pass from Toulouse.
One thing, Nick, it looks like Kansas City's fallen back a little bit, and Florida's really taking it to them right now. Not probably what I would have dialed up or prescribed coming out of halftime.
Florida trying to catch the Comets on a change, but they get back defensively, and then Leo Gibson goes down hard on the turf, and he looks up at the official.
He's been all over the place tonight.
Leo has. He's looking up there at Rich Grady, talking to him, saying, "Hey, huh?"
He's probably saying the first time, second time.
Sosa. Deflected on over to Togba. Back to Sosa, into Ramon. Ramon's touch let him down. Florida, but Ramon gets it back. Here comes Ramon with a shot. Off the near glass, no good. Comets looking for a handball. Silva plays it out to Franca. And the Comets get it right back.
You know, I saw yesterday a voice in the name of the past, Warren Westcote.
Cody!
His daughter was playing futsal over at in John Perry's league with Blue Valley, so it was good to see him and Eve, and he's doing well.
Penalty coming up against Florida. Rafa Alves, or was it Ricardo Diggs? Not sure, but Gibson went into the boards hard, and Ricardo Diggs is going to go out of the game and into the penalty box. So the Comets are going to go on the power play for the first time today.
That's the first time I've seen a referee talking to the microphone.
They're trying something new here. I think they're going to start the officials eventually, and what they want to do, the goal is to have the referees have wireless microphones on them, and so that they'll be able to turn them on to be able to announce penalties or fouls or something like that, so that they can give fans at home watching the broadcast as well as in the arena, give them information about what's going on in the game, what's being called. Because sometimes we've been in the dark, you know.
You know what? That's a great idea, but you got to be careful with that microphone on when you go into the penalty box. Usually, if you go into the sin bin, it's not a pleasant conversation.
I have always wanted to have a microphone down there. I think that would be great fun.
You know what I would like to do? Interview people when they go into the box. You know what? Go down to, what do you think? I think you got ripped off in the call. What do you think? I'd be really mad if I was in there.
I would get some real honest conversations down there. You know what I mean?
You know what? It's cable.
It is.
It is, man. Let's go. It might sound like the Roadrunner. Beep, beep. And what do you think of the call? Beep, 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 beep.
I don't know if they got a dump button down there. We do up here.
Yeah, but let's work on that.
We got to make it happen. Comets on the power play. Now, one thing about Florida's penalty killing unit is that, well, they're good.
Very good.
And what I mean by that is they have not allowed a power play goal all season long. Comets a chance here. Sosa to the corner, back to Sosa. 40 seconds left on the power play. Here is Perez. Florida, the only team in the league not to have allowed a power play goal yet. Gibson over to Sosa. Now Rodriguez tees one up, and that one wide. 24 seconds left on the penalty to Florida. Sosa gets it back. He has space. Sosa measuring it. to the corner. Togba shoots, saves Silva. Dos Santos is there. Dos Santos shields away and then kicks the ball across the half line. 6 seconds left, and Florida maybe just one chance. 2-1. No, Florida's killed the penalty. Sosa's there. He shoots just above the crossbar. It goes out of bounds, and Florida, again, they have been shorthanded 12 times now this season, and they have not allowed a power play goal.
Nick, they play with a lot of firepower. I mean, they're very organized on the penalty killing crew. They play a diamond. There's usually you can play a box or a diamond, and they pressured them, but they didn't break. So anytime they try to get the ball into Leo and then go from there, but they did an excellent job. I mean, they had a couple chances, but nothing too dangerous.
So the score remains 5-2. We'll take a break, send it down to Steve. You're watching MASL TV.
Line all 3 sevens up. We'll space you guys out. We don't want you guys roughing each other up. There you go. You guys are going to start on this yellow line. You'll run to the opposite yellow line, dodging Comet. You'll touch that yellow line with your big old shoes, and then you'll run back, and we'll see who's going to win. What seven's going to win? Makes it easy, right, Nate? That's right. All right, are you guys ready? You're shaking your head no. It's easy, I promise. All right, Comets fans, you got to make lots of noise for these guys. We're going to count it down in 3, 2, 1. Good luck. Come on. Cheer for your favorite 7 right now. Touch the yellow line and back. Dodge the Comets. There's our winner. No shoes, no socks. We got a winner. We don't recommend that, but that's all right. Big thanks again to 7th Street Casino. Comet, grab that. We'll do it again next time. Nate, back to you. Thank you, Comet.
Comet always comes get your shoes, Steve. Sometimes they'll bring you the paper. Congrats to our Orange 7, the big victory there.
.7:32 left to play in the third, and the Comets leading 5-2 with Jim Schwab. I am Nick Vassos. Comets with possession of the ball. Nacho Flores has a goal and an assist tonight. Sends it over to Ramon Palmer, who had a pretty nifty goal in the first half. Now a long one from Berto is deflected above the crossbar by the Tropics' Rafa. Kansas City trying to win the ball right back. Mujin is there. He and Flores battle for it. Robert Palmer has it now. 7 minutes to play in the third. Here's Nacho. Tees one up, and that one off the near glass. It comes off to the Tropics. Max DeLute is there. Haitian sensation, back to Birche. Then over to Max, and now forward across the half line, looking for a teammate, but too strong. Petracek sends it back to the midfield stripe. And then all the way back to Silva. Here's Toulouse. Max goes by Nacho. Left side, JP Reyes takes a shot, and that one above the crossbar.
Pretty fortunate there, Nick. They broke down the Comets defense, and nice piece of skill work right in the middle of the park. I love that blue turf.
Looks good. And it's a good surface, too. It's not...
You haven't let me down there, so what would I know?
You need to get down there and sink your toes into that blue carpet. It's a good surface, smooth surface, softer than the old one. Rodriguez on Florida's yellow line, down near side, Robert Palmer. Togba.
Did you say Florida-Georgia line?
No, you like those? You like that Florida-Georgia line?
Yeah, I'm a country boy. No. Trying to get Leo the ball a little bit more down low. They haven't been able to do that the second half, Nick.
Robert Palmer front of the Comet bench, being pressured there by Ruiz. Comes away with it. And tracking back there is Togba with a good defensive play. Knocks it away over to Lucas, and a foul called on the Comets. Everyone disagrees with that call here at Silverstein.
The only person who didn't agree with that, didn't disagree with that, was Mr. Rich Grady.
That's right.
He made some friends.
Monteleras.
I think the referees have done a good job tonight.
Only one penalty so far. And as we just saw, Florida killed off the penalty. Perfect on the year. 12 for 12 in penalty killing. Silva boots it away. Ricardo sends it over to Monteleras. Monteleras back to Dos Santos, then over to Silva. And then Silva heads it away. Kansas City gets it back. Shot save made by Silva. Anthony Grant making a bid. Now out to Reyes. Florida will slow it up, set up their offense with 4.5 to play in the third. No scoring so far in this quarter. Comets lead by 3. 4:18. Rafa.
Oh, look out.
You're back there behind the goal. You don't want to have your head in your phone the whole time.
No. I'll share that story with Chris when I see him in person. I wish him hello, and I'm waiting for our invitation to go down to Florida.
You can't say that. You can't tell. I'm sorry, folks. You're watching at home. You want to hear the story.
No.
About the road trip. You cannot. He just can't. I'm sorry. It's just. No.
I'll tell it in person in Florida. Pay-per-view.
There's no way that he doesn't remember it.
What a great
goal. It's Brian Perez again, and the Kansas City Comets lead 6-2.
Brian Perez was hanging out at the back post, and they found him, Nick. Forced the turnover and made Florida pay. Watch this.
Who's coming up with the assist? Looks like Kyle Williams.
Oh, what a ball.
Wow.
A little Caesar salad. A little Florida salad right between the old wickets. And
Perez is 6th on the year. Kyle Williams is 4th assist. 2nd on the night. It's 6-2.
Guys, I'll be honest with you, too. Going back to that, Leo is pressuring the ball. Leo is the one that won the ball along the boards.
Yep.
Dug it out, gave it over to Williams, and Williams waited, was patient, okay, like Coach Rundfeld said, and then slotted it home to Brian Perez in the back. Oh, wow.
Bowen Palmer with a cracker. Now Max Talou back the other way for Florida.
Stokic and Leo almost got caught there. He was coming off. It seems like he's doing some defensive running for Leo, and Leo was leaning on.
Dos Santos to Monteleras. Monteleras fires a low heater in there. Petracek got a piece of it with his foot. Comets cleared away, held in by the Trops. 2 minutes and 50 seconds, 50 seconds left in the third. Into Mujin. Mujin pushed out wide. Wall pass through the area. Comes to Stokic's feet. Stefan for the Comets. Back to Sosa. Then over to Ramon Palmer. And then near side here. Good job by the Comets to work it out of the back. Here's Togba coming down the field. Ooh, looking for Leo to the far post, and Silva picks it off. Good thought.
Yeah, great thought, great vision. And you know what? He looked up and he can't. I think he looked up and said, "He can't be that wide open." He kind of hesitated a little bit, a little stutter, and he just kind of played it to the keeper.
Played it to the keeper.
Remember what I said at halftime, Nick? Comets get the 7. This can get ugly. It's 7 before they get to 3.
7 before the Trops get to 3.
Yes, sir.
Let's watch that. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. Comets have had a 4-goal cushion. They started the game with a 4-0 run. Trops cut it in half to 4-2, and then the Comets have scored another 2 goals to make it 6-2, which is where we stand right now. Here's Gibson. His touch over to Silva. Kansas City trying to win the ball back. Talute plays it back to Silva. Silva surrounded by red, white, and blue. Gets it out to a teammate and then across the half line. Here's Birche with a drive. And that one's saved by Petracek.
Florida did a good job. Tropics did a great job on the counter and just didn't have a quality chance there, Nick. I thought he was going to take it a little bit more, but
Situation like that, you got to force the keeper to make a commitment there, so take the ball in towards him.
I think so. I think the closer you can get into, and at least I think if he's going to shoot, you just got to get all of it. And I think he'd like to have that one back, I'm sure.
Palmer from distance. Here come the Tropics, broken up by Rodriguez. Lucas gets it back, and here comes Kansas City the other way. Here's Lucas. Out wide to Anthony Grant, looking for the far post, deflected away, rebound shot, saved Silva. And the ball pinballed around there for a little bit. It comes out, Kansas City will control again with the final seconds here of the third quarter.
I like the energy of Lucas Rodriguez also on the defensive end. He's buzzing around the ball, high pressure.
Perez leaves it back to Togba. Togba over to Leo. Leo can't get around the defender, and it rolls into Silva, who plays it long for Petracek. 10 seconds to play in the third. 10 to play in the third. Comets lead by 4. Togba. Now Robert Palmer sends one in there on target. Silva had to punch that one above the crossbar. And we have come to the end of the third quarter. Look out, Supernovas. It's like the 5th one that's whizzed by the Comets cheerleading section. At the end of 3, it is the Comets 6 and the Tropics 2. We'll be back for the final frame coming up. Yeah, we're watching MASL TV.
That is right. We want to give away, how about a $25,000 vehicle? Now introduce yourself. What's your name?
Ben Akers.
Ben, where are you from?
Lee Summit.
Ben's from Lee Summit. He says he has some soccer skills, but it might have occurred about 10 years ago when he was in high school. So that's all right, Ben. Good news is we're going to measure this out. It's going to be 75 feet, which equals 25 yards. What's going to happen is you got to kick this soccer ball into that 19-inch target. If you can get that without bouncing, you win yourself a brand new vehicle. Seems easy, right?
Oh, yeah.
There it is, but we want you to win, all right? So line this up. It's all good thanks to our friends at Adams Toyota and Lee Summit. This could be a brand new vehicle for you. Whew. You ready?
Let's do it.
Ben's ready. All right, you guys got to make some noise for Ben. A RAV4 valued at $25,000. Adams Toyota. Ben, when you're ready, from Lee Summit. Ben, I don't know what happened in those last 10 years, but you got pretty darn good there. Congratulations, not bad. We're still going to get you 4 tickets to the next home game. Nate, back to you. That was a pretty darn good kick.
That was the closest we've had all year. That was pretty good. Sheet Metal Local number 2 is the official sponsor of the Comets Reading Program. Kids in grade school through middle school from all over the Kansas City area are taking part in this unique program that encourages kids to put down their electronics and read more. Once Renewal by Anderson has been innovating windows for more than 110 years. The Anderson name is synonymous with quality, and be sure they'll be there when you need them. Visit them on the web at rpakc.com. Renewal by Anderson, the official window replacement company of the Comets. Sunfresh
Hector Solario from Lambada, KC.
How about that fan, Fred?
Oh, he is.
Seacart?
Oh, Fred DeSeagart.
Yeah.
Comets number one fan for the longest time.
I mean,
how long have you known Fred? Fred DeSeagart. He comes
30 years.
He usually comes up and says hi to me
all the time.
Jimmy, he's like, hey, Jimmy.
Hold on. The only time he says hi to me is when I'm hanging out with you. I mean, I'm up in the celebrity booth, you know?
Well, is he the most enthusiastic Comets fan?
I've never seen him in a bad mood.
Oh.
Unlike you.
Grumpy.
Oh,
almost a little sneaky sneak there.
Oh, yeah, he had the web. He had the Spider-Man web in there. Caught it.
Oh, well, looking for a handball there. Looks like, yep, going to get it. Handball called against Florida. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Jim Schwab, Nick Vassos, MASL TV, Comets and the Tropics, with Kansas City leading 6-2.
Seems like Brian Perez is more involved tonight.
Yeah, you know, again, at the beginning of the year, the first few games, like Lucas wasn't involved here, but like you've noticed, we called Lucas's name several times, not just on the offensive side, but defensively. And Brian Perez, he's got a couple of goals tonight, so it's good to see the team captain get involved in the offense.
Not only on the offense, Nick, I'm just talking about, you know, when your leaders are leading, you're usually winning games, right? And I think it shows, you know, you got Leo on the ground, diving for balls, playing defense. He's gotten taken down from behind, he's in the back, in the midfield. It's nice. I mean, not only offensively, but they're doing it defensively tonight. Very impressed.
Lucas goes back in there and then is whistled for the penalty. Lucas went back in there aggressively and took down the Florida Tropics player and is now called for either. Well, I didn't hear that over the loudspeaker here, but Lucas is going to go off for 2 minutes.
It looked like he
maybe two-footed him?
I think the, you know, sole of the foot was up, went into a straight leg tackle. Anytime they do that.
All right, so special teams for Kansas City, penalty killing. They're 71% on the year. They've been shorthanded 14 times, and they've allowed 4 power play goals. And the Trops are 50% on the year for power plays. They are 3 of 6 on the year. Comets don't have a shorthanded goal, and Silva way off his line. What a play by Silva. Ramon Palmer got to the ball and making a bid for the Comets' first shorthanded tally of the year.
I'm predicting a shorthanded goal.
Wow. You are?
Yes.
First team to 7. Foul called against Florida. 1 minute and 39 seconds left on the advantage to the Tropics. Petracek on over to Ramon Palmer. Back to Sosa. Out of bounds off the Trops.
Let's see if the Comets can A, get a shorthanded goal, or B, kill the penalty. Give them some momentum here.
Foul called on Florida again. And Florida's head coach Clay Roberts doesn't agree with that. Again, Lucas Rodriguez in the penalty box for the next minute and 22 seconds. Looking to get it to Robert Palmer. Ramon keeps it in. Robert Palmer's there off the boards. Hugo Silva has to come out. And finally they get it out to Dos Santos. Dos Santos over to Ricardo. Ricardo now to Guilherme Dos Santos. Thought about it. Instead pulls it back. Now rolled into the middle there. Broken up by Sosa. Palmer to Sosa. Back to Palmer again. Here's Ramon using that speed. Palmer with it. Palmer shoots and it's just wide.
Oh, my prediction.
That was a great chance at a shorthanded goal. Now Mujin back the other way. Still 30 seconds on Florida's advantage. Right side, Dos Santos. Now front and center, Max Talou. Nation sensation, near side, Monteleras. Down to Muzhin. Hits it first time, saved by Petracek. Timeout called by the Comets.
Palmer, the last shift, Nick. What, like an exhilarating effort to get back. No substitution for speed, right?
Right.
He comes flying back, wins the ball. Good defense. Now he plays a give and go with John Sosa, and then takes it to the house on a breakaway and just barely missed it wide.
I remember when I was first introduced to this game, and here's going to have a look at it again here. But I've heard you and other coaches mention so much that the defensive side of the ball in the indoor game is so important. It creates so many offensive chances. Here's
now he's setting them up, and the goalkeeper did a great job. He stayed up on his feet, didn't give him any room, didn't give him any openings, and you know what? Usually if the keeper makes it, or the 5-hole opens up. Peeky, boo. And there was no peeky, boo in that one. He had the glue on.
But that makes perfect sense. I mean, what we're seeing here from the Comets is they're playing with more want-to on the defensive side, and it's giving them more chances offensively.
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. I think they're playing with that passion defensively. You know, everybody wants to see an entertaining game, okay? But when your team can kill a penalty or slide across on a block, you got your forward leading goal scorer in the league, not only in your team, but the league, and getting in the tackles and winning balls on the boards. And he didn't get the assist for it, but if you have that, it's contagious. It really isn't, and we really didn't see that the first couple of home games. And I know coach's emphasis on it. Oh, this is definitely in 2 minutes.
Florida's 2 minute for tripping against James Togba. Yep, 2 minutes for tripping. We heard that one, and we could clearly see it too.
They're going to give us another replay.
He looks like he's going to get his money's worth here.
Oh, he got all of his money. Look at this. He said none of that. Oh, wow. Man.
Chopped.
That's it. Chopped. Holy mackerel. You said it right there. You think you got to think about that call? All right, let's see if they can. They're going to break Florida's streak here. They're going to score here.
Florida 12 for 12 on penalty killing. Let's see if the Comets can crack the code here for the Tropics on their penalty killing unit. Here's Gibson to the corner. Perez shoots, and that one's just
missed it.
Sprayed across the goal mouth. Now front and center, Leo. Left side, Lucas. Now Leo lets it roll through to Sosa.
Notice Leo coming higher.
Down to the corner to Perez. Now Lucas to Leo. One touch, Sosa to the corner. Shot off the wall, no good. Rebound held in by Leo. He takes a drive, and that one deflected high by Silva. 1:05 left on the penalty. Here's Leo again over to Ramon. Correction, Togba. And Togba's shot deflects off in Florida, and the Comets will have it, I believe, in the right wing corner.
Sosa will be the trigger man on the ball. Watch Lucas Rodriguez. Remember that play they did in the first home game? Lucas ran across the ball and find that seam. Yep. Look for that, and also look for Leo at the back post.
Silva looks like Hugo shaking up just a little bit on the play, but he's all right. Here's Sosa behind the ball. Out top to Perez, who shoots. Silva makes this incredible save with all kinds of traffic in front of him. Gibson gets it back. He shoots. Silva makes another save. 48 seconds left on the Comets' advantage. Sosa. Now Leo. Rodriguez. Perez. Perez still there. Shot out in front. And it goes in. Power play goal by the Comets. And they have broken the Tropics seal on their penalty killing unit. It's now 7-2, and a Comet player is down.
Lucas Rodriguez got hammered, Nick. He ran across the box, and he got. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a penalty. Watch this. Notice the patience. Watch him making a run here. Watch this. I'll have none of that.
He got poked in the eye or something here, but didn't see who got I think maybe Togba got the goal. Here it is again.
This is key. He's running in to create some space, and he just got it. What a great run.
It is.
One thing, Nick. So
you were right about that. It's a penalty.
It's a penalty, but the goal was because it was the delayed penalty. So there'll be no power play. They'll play 5v5 because of the goal being scored on the delay. I really like the ball movement from the Comets on that power play, Nick. The first one, I thought they had decent ball movement. I think that ball movement was excellent. Coach has got to be pleased with that one. Remember what I said, first one to 7.
And here we are, Comets 7, Tropics 2.
10:05 left.
Got to maintain your poise now.
If I ever told you I enjoy working with you.
Feelings mutual, friend.
I said it first.
Perez picks up his 3rd assist on the year. And again, that's the first power play goal the Trops have given up all year.
One thing the league's trying to do, and I agree with him, any type of striking or above the shoulder, there's no nonsense. They're cleaning it up. I don't know how intentional it was, but it happened. So, I hope he's fine. But anytime you're messing with the guy's eyes, and dangerous restart here.
Birche over to Monteleras. An attempted header. Ball still loose in the corner. Mujin knocks it back in. Wall pass in the area. Kicked away by Robert Palmer. Picked up by Stokic, who was looking for Anthony Grant streaking down the right side, but it's held up by Florida. 9.5 to play in the game. Long drive by Birche. Rebound by Sandovari. Now another shot. Blocked by Sandovari. Ricardo hits it in there. Christian Ruiz. Out to Birche.
A flourish of shots.
Rafa now front and center. Laidley. Kicked away from the goal, Birche. Silva. Now Silva can handle the ball across the half line in the 4th quarter. Remember, goalkeepers cannot do that in quarters 1 through 3. Here's Rafa. Into the box. Kicked away by Robert Palmer. Silva pretty good with his feet here, so he's acting almost like a 6th attacker. Stokic yelling instructions to his teammates. Stokic will go off and Leo will come back on.
One thing that I didn't mind is I'd rather have the goalkeeper, no matter how good he is, I'd rather have him handle the ball than somebody that has that good of a shot.
Gibson goes down and a foul called on Florida. 8:23 left to play in the game. 7-2. Comets on top.
One thing I know Coach would like to see here with 8-16, 8-15 is the Comets that can play. Yeah, they've got 7 good goals and played good team defense, but to finish this game strong, clean, and convincing. And I think if they can do those 3, I think, you know what, it says a lot for build momentum in the future.
So Florida sends it back down to Laidley. Laidley marked by Perez. Comes out front and center to Ruiz. Now right side for Mujin. They'll back it up to Silva. Hugo trots it across the line. Near side Monteleras. Now right side for the Haitian sensation. Long drive by Max DeLu. Blocked out of bounds by Sosa.
Numerous people have blocked the balls tonight. I mean, they're giving up their body. You like to see that. That was Sosa there, but you've had Brian Perez. You've had a lot of the players have blocks tonight.
So we got an official timeout on the field right now. You can see Coach Kim out there on the field. So we'll take a quick break and be right back in just a few seconds. You're watching MASL TV. 7:29 left to play in the game. 7-2. Comets on top.
That was the first mistake Jeff's made, hasn't it?
It is.
He's up in the booth telling him we made a mistake about the Florida power play.
The power play streak, and everything.
So, he's always nitpicking us, huh?
I know.
On a serious note, though, that's the first mistake I've ever seen him make. I mean, he makes our job look easy.
No doubt about it. Jeff Houston.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, sir.
Drive in there, deflected out by the Comets. Now a long one from Dos Santos, their leading goal scorer. He's been held scoreless tonight. The secondary shot goes up into the stands, so Comets will have it on goalkeeper distribution with 7:18 left to play. Now, if you're the Comets and you're Coach Kim here, and like you said just a few minutes ago about finishing strong here, you've got a 5-goal lead here. How do you let just playing the ball and not really attacking like you have been the whole game? Do you still go out and say, hey, still go out there, attack, or are you playing a different style of game in order to churn some of the clock off?
Well, when I'm talking about clean, Nick, is like when you got a clear ball, let's clear a ball. When when you have to play defense, you have to play defense. Sometimes I think they get a little bit tricky because they're highly skilled players, and like here, that has to be, that's the difference from us going on offense and then them staying on offense. So we have to be, that's the stuff that I look for, is the little things. Dot your I's, cross your T's, and not losing the ball in our third. And even if you have to clear it, they're not going to score on the defensive third, right?
That's right.
So we got to make sure we clear that.
Boy, hey, Guilherme Dos Santos loves that shot from the left wing about 50 feet out. He's tried it like 7 times tonight, and just above the crossbar once again. Comets clear it away. Florida holds on to it. Kansas City sitting back just a little bit here. They have a 5-goal lead with 6 minutes and 12 seconds left to play, and Silva comes up with it. Dos Santos on over to Silva. Silva forward for the Haitian sensation.
That's another thing to look at, Nick, is numbers behind the ball. Okay, they're not getting caught. Games in the past, they've gotten caught number-wise.
And they've got 5 behind the ball right now. Stokic is out there as a defensive runner. Now Silva, he'll try a shot, and down on the log roll is Stokic. You can see the fist pump after he blocked that shot. 5.5 to play now.
Add another person on the roster blocking shots tonight.
Here's Toulouse battling with Perez.
And as you're playing good, strong defense, make sure you don't pick up a cheap foul too, because that just gives momentum back to the Florida.
Here's Silva to the corner. Guilherme Dos Santos is there. Gets away from all of the red, white, and blue jerseys. Bangs it against the boards, and Petracek is able to gather it up for the Comets. Rolls it out to Perez. Perez near side Sosa. Back to Kyle Williams. Correction, Robert Palmer.
I thought he's played well tonight.
Palmer has. Palmer plays it into open space, and he gets it back, and Palmer's still going forward. Palmer stops. Tops. Oh, what a great ball to Nacho, who cannot put it on frame.
What a great attack coming out by Palmer. What a great run. And that's wrapped.
That's one you're going to talk about at dinner tonight, huh?
When you get back in the locker room, everything, you're always grateful when somebody gives you a great ball, but you'll hear it if you don't take advantage of it.
Anthony Grant digs the ball out of the corner. Pumped back in there by Rafa and the Tropics.
Hey, you didn't get better service on the plaza than that, buddy.
Good service, no doubt.
Hey, my son got 2 nice balls after they scored.
Oh, look at that.
Renewed by Anderson. They give them out after goals. So he was down there. Jack's here tonight with a couple of his buddies. So
looks like they're signed. One of them was signed by Sandovari.
Yes.
Go.
Looks like we might have to visit the locker room if they can continue to win. Because I told Coach I don't go down to the losing locker room.
Bet he didn't take that too kindly.
Oh, no. He gave it the Danish look.
Oh, Schraube.
Oh, Daddy. Don't remind me.
3.5 to play in this one. 7-2. Comets on top. Kind of get the sense here that the 6th attacker is not going to be brought into this game. They're just going to continue to use Silva.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Silva with a blast.
Tell you what, he can hit a ball.
Yeah. Sosa got a piece of that one. Ball still loose in the area. Comes out to Anthony Grant. Anthony trying to shield away the defender. Still moving forward. Anthony using his... Oh, he comes down and... Referee was going for a card.
There's nothing there, son. Play on.
He was running so fast, Rich Grady couldn't get his hand in his back pocket.
Look for Florida maybe to call a timeout. Not to add time to the game, but just maybe give Silva a break. He's been running up and down, Nick.
Ball pass in the middle, and Petracek able to pounce on it for the Comets. And Petracek will call a timeout. We'll keep it right here. 7-2, Comets over the Tropics right now. Comets' next home game is going to be Friday, January 18th, when their I-70 rivals, the St. Louis Ambush, comes to Silverstein Ice Centers Arena. 7:35 first kick. Again, Friday, January 18th. Get your tickets at kccomets.com or call the Comets office.
Hey, I heard from Brian Roth, not to cut you off. But,
oh, you did?
And they're having a North County, South County game in St. Louis alumni night, right? When February 9th, and they're going to play Kansas City. So it's a big, growing up in St. Louis, the North County always beat the South County, right? But we would drive.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, it's on.
What high school did you go to?
Hazelwood East. Where men are men and sheep are scared. Yeah, but Brian's down in St. Louis, but that'll be an exciting night at the family arena.
Oh my gosh, it'd be great.
Remember last time we were down there? You and Freddie got to pull early. Coach Rundvedt said, somebody needs to take these. Good times always in St. Louis.
Oh my gosh. Maybe I'll have nachos again like I did last time when I was there.
Nacho Libre.
We should make a roadie out of it. That'd be fun.
The only time you remember the nachos is because it was on your shirt the next morning.
Oh my gosh. 2:24 left to play in the game. And Hugo Silva is back out there, so no 6th attacker for Florida. And Petracek will have the ball for the Comets.
I think he's done a good job in this position. I'd like to see the Comets, though, really retain possession here and keep possession and not... Oh, whoa.
Another blast from Dos Santos there on the left wing from 50 feet away.
That went over to Supernova's head again.
Yeah, it did. Comets' next game will be next weekend when they travel up to Milwaukee to play on the black turf. Tom Wynn, Art Kramer will have the call for you there next Friday.
Yeah, Happy New Year's to the Milwaukee Wave organization.
Absolutely.
Art and Tom always do a great job.
They're undefeated.
He's still announcing the game, the baseball game.
Oh, is that? Oh,
I think it's the 900 inning.
Perez plays it out to the half line. Silva tracks it down for the Trops. Silva's uncorked a couple of good ones from beyond the yellow line. Here's Dos Santos. Will he shoot again? No. He'll play it down to Ruiz. Now right side. We have 1:29 left to play in the game. Comets are going to pick up their 3rd win. And the Tropics are going to fall to 3-5. Here's Sosa. On over to Rodriguez. The game is now in hand for the Comets. See if everybody here can keep their poise. And headed back into Petracek. Nice play there from Rodriguez, who comes back into the game. Remember, he was shaken up a little bit at the other end of the field on a power play goal by Tagba. So 1 minute left out in the contest here, and the Trops are going to go 0-2 on their trip to Middle America to play the Ambush and the Comets. Front and center, Dos Santos with a drive, and that one just wide. He's got a big left foot.
Here we go.
Here comes Robert Palmer. Palmer on over to Rodriguez. Lucas back to Palmer. 22 seconds left. Lucas with a drive. Silva makes the save. 16 seconds left. Mujian tiptoes it across the half line. Now Mujian to his right.
Great defense by Palmer.
Palmer blocked it, and then another block by the Comets. 2 seconds left, and that's going to do it. Final score from Silverstein Ice Center's Arena on Military Appreciation Night. Comets win it 7-2 over the Florida Tropics. Kansas City improves to 3-4. They get their first home win of the year, and Florida falls to 3-5. And for the moment, the Comets move into third place in the South Central Division.
Exciting game, Nick. I think it was a much better performance tonight. And congratulations to the Comets to get them a great victory at home. Congratulations to Coach and the staff. And Jeff did a great job again. And I thought it was a great team. Tell you what, look at when we get the final stats here. I bet we had 15 blocks. I would, over and under.
Yeah,
I would take the over.
Yeah, great defensive effort.
Yeah,
and for some individual efforts on offense, Nacho had a goal and an assist, and Kyle Williams had a couple of assists.
Brian Perez too.
Brian Perez had a goal and an assist. We're standing by.
I would say Brian Perez might get the #1 star of the game.
Yeah.
I really like the way Nacho's playing too. The only thing he did bad tonight was miss that shot. But Nick, he's really, he's waving to the fans, and I tell you what, I love the uniforms.
Oh yeah.
And to give a victory to the military, to honor the military today, they gave out a car. It's got to be inspirational to the players. But you know what? America's a great place, and to do this, and then for the Comets to give their fans a win.
Let's send it down to Jeff. He's got Freddie Mujian.
All right, I'm here with Freddie Mujian. Freddie, tough weekend trip for you. You guys get to go home and recover. What's next for the Tropics?
Yeah, that's not what we had planned. We trained the whole week to come to this trip and get at least one win. It was tough for us. We have to go back, regroup. We have a lot of guys injured. Today we only had 12 guys playing, so it's tough for us. Have to go back, treat everybody, make sure next weekend we're ready to play and get a win at home.
What's it like for you guys being part of the South Central Conference, joining the Milwaukee Wave, the Comets, and the Ambush?
To be honest, I enjoy it. I love to play here in Kansas City. St. Louis is another good place to play. Milwaukee, top team in the league. So if you want to be the best, you make sure you have to beat Milwaukee. So for us, it's good. I think the change was welcome by everybody. And we're happy. Just have to get the wins to hopefully make the playoffs.
All right. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Florida Tropics. We're standing by here to talk to the player of the game, and that's going to be Brian Perez. Steve Serrano is getting in a position here to talk to Brian Perez, who had a goal and assist tonight.
Brian Perez.
Here he is. Let's listen.
That is right, Brian. 7-2 big win for you guys tonight. How great was this?
It was huge, to get our first win at home.
How great was it also in front of all these fans and really to kick off 2019 the right way here at Silverstein?
Absolutely. We have the best fans in the league, and the support they give us. And today was a special day for the veterans, so it meant a lot.
Is there anything you guys said before the game occurred to make sure you guys were ready to go after today?
We didn't say much. We knew what we had to do, and it was we were very determined, and so it was very quiet. We were very focused.
Anything else you'd like to say to these fans before they come out here and see you guys?
I want to thank you guys. You guys were great. You guys kept up the whole time, and we want to see you next time.
That's right. Congratulations. Great game.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Steve.
All right, Steve Serrano there with Brian Perez, one of the stars of tonight's game here. So how can the Comets keep this this positive energy going here? How can they? You heard from Brian say that they were determined, and I mean that was kind of a mental note that they were going to go out and they were determined to play some defense, and boy, it really helped out their offense. How do you keep that going, Coach?
I think the consistency factor, I think the work ethic, I think it's a hard-working team. Sorry. I think Coach Runfed likes his team. He likes the energy. He likes the attitude. They get along and stuff. Now, and we said it last broadcast, Nick, now they just have to prove, let's look at each quarter, and they have to perform each quarter and have the consistency and play with passion. Tonight, we've swung more blocks, and I repeat myself, but being the former defender is when your goalie's not that making that many saves, and you're blocking stuff, and you're getting blocks from Leo, Brian Perez, everybody, Stokic at the end. I mean, it's a team. Listen, the team effort is key. Leo's going to be Leo, but everybody down the roster had to contribute, and I think the consistency, and once they know, I don't think they're at the top of their game yet. I think they have to clean some things up, and I think Coach will agree with me. But the lapses on the 2 goals, but 7-2 win, Nick. It's a great improvement over the last couple games.
You hold an opponent to only 2 goals. That's a success any night in the indoor game.
Yes, that is true.
All right. So the Comets, once again, they're going to have some home games here for the next couple of weeks here. They're going to play their next. They'll go on the road against Milwaukee, but once they go on the road to Milwaukee, they're going to have 4 straight games at home. And so it's going to give them an opportunity to climb above 500. And that's going to be crucial. That's going to be key.
With the confidence they play with today, and momentum goes into the next game, right? Not a lot of injuries. Look like pretty injury-free. Milwaukee, I mean, they're going to go. They're going to go up there and try to,
try to win.
Yeah, and you know what? But I think Kim's a very confident coach and likes this group. But here's my thing is, being confident and getting it done are 2 different things. And tonight they got it done. Congratulations. And it was a great team chemistry effort. And I love the energy tonight.
That was good stuff. Good energy by you tonight, Jimmy. Great to see you again. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Same to you, Nick.
And we will see you back here on Friday, January 18th, when the Comets return home to take on the St. Louis Ambush at 7:35.
One thing we did miss today, we missed Gus in the stands.
That's right.
I mean, hey, it was a little less quiet, okay?
It was.
He brings some energy.
And he does.
Tell him Happy New Year's and Wendy Happy New Year's.
Clean up that language a little bit there.
Well, just like his daddy.
And thanks to all of our great Silverstein crew here tonight helping us with the broadcast. Once again, the Comets win 7-2. They improved to 3-4. Florida falls to 3-5. And the Comets' next game will be at Milwaukee next weekend on Friday night at 7:05. Art Kramer and Tom Wynn will have the broadcast for you on MASL TV. Comets winners here tonight to get their first home win of the season. We'll be back with you in 2 weeks to have the Comets and the Ambush here on Sports Shake Field. Thanks for watching MASL TV, and good night from Silverstein Ice Center's Arena.